I cried once I got far because it was my last test. I opened it and I literally was like crying. I was like, I'm done. Like, I don't have to do this anymore.
Let's welcome our next guest who just recently passed the CPA exam.
I'm Victoria. I'm from Easton, Pennsylvania. I went to school in Binghamton University. It's in upstate New York. I did my bachelor's in accounting and I also got my MBA from there. I took the CPA during my grad school year. Now I currently work for Grant Thornton. I do risk advisory. I specifically test controls, so I do internal auditing.
What did you do a day before the exam?
So the day before the exam, for like audit and BC, because it was only 6 chapters, I did the whole go through everything again. For Reg and FAR, because there's too many chapters, that's just too much in one day. I think for FAR, I split it 5 and 5, like 2 days before, 1 day before. And I would wake up a decent time, maybe like 9, 10 o'clock, so I didn't want to waste my day, and I didn't want to study past like 10 p.m. I would try to like stop 8 or 9. A lot of people say like relax the day before. I can't. I have like test anxiety where I need to like know everything I need to know. For BEC and audit, I felt a lot more comfortable with the information, so I would just do the unlimited practice test, just like 10 questions at a time for each chapter. Then I would do testlets of 33. I only did multiple choice. I think like maybe I would run through a couple sims like through the chapters of topics that I wanted more help on, but I didn't really do those. For Reg and FAR, I did the same thing, but I kind of mixed more of like re-going through the chapters and focusing on the ones like I didn't know that well. So for like FAR, government, F9 and 10, I knew that down pat. I would get hundreds on everything, so I didn't want to waste time studying those. So I would really just focus on like the math questions that I really didn't understand. The second time I took FAR, I really focused on the stuff that I failed on in my opinion the first time. So like for me, like depreciation, stockholders equity, like really focus on the ones that I knew I needed to know, because you don't want to overwhelm yourself. The simulated exams, the practice exams, I don't even think I talked about that. For Reg, I tried them, and it's 4 hours. They're 4 hours. I know they're supposed to mock a test, but when I'm reviewing and I don't know what I don't know yet, I didn't want to waste 4 hours like trying to answer questions and wasting 4 hours that I could have been using to actually study, trying to do questions, trying to do sims, and completely butchering them and getting them completely wrong. So after Reg, I didn't do them anymore. I think for maybe audit and BEC, I did them like a week or two before just to get more questions, but I didn't do them seriously. I would click through. If I knew the answer, I answered it. If I didn't, I would try to look it up online. The sims, I don't even know if I attempted. If it was like a fill in the blank, I tried it. If it had math, I didn't even attempt. And so like my scores were like all over, like anywhere from like a 30 to a 60, depending on how hard I tried, just to see the information and test, like see what I knew. Some people use them. I just didn't find wasting 4 hours of my time doing that. I would rather just do the simulated testlets where you can practice doing 33 questions at a time. You can practice doing 3 simulations. I felt that was just more conducive to not wasting your time. Some people feel the opposite. That's totally fine. It just didn't work for me. So the day before, the unlimited practice tests were my best friend. I loved them. For topics that like really needed help, like depreciation, stockholders equity, anything with math for me. I'm not a math person. Those are the ones I would go back and actually do like all 40 multiple choice in the module. But I just tried to just lightly review while like forcing it into my brain at the same time. If I was sitting still, because like I would try to take breaks, I would just like, I tried to watch like an episode of TV while I was eating lunch, and I just started thinking of something, and I was like, wait, do I actually know this rule? And I would just like run to my book, and I'd just be like, yeah, I do know that. But like, also like, I couldn't relax. People say relax. I can't. Even if it's just doing questions and getting hundreds on them, at least I felt like I was learning more. And even if it's just like one question that pops up that I got wrong, and I was just like, okay, what's wrong? Like, how do I do this now? Like, I have the anxiety that like I need to know that I'm doing everything. I can't relax. I know there's definitely people out there like that. Sometimes relaxing works. And then I would set 6 alarms in the morning. Like, I'd be like, I knew what time I had it to leave. So I took it at the same test center every time. I knew the check-in procedures, because I didn't, like, my test would be at 9. They didn't open, like, they said get there at 8:30. I would show up at 8. I was always taking my test by, like, 8:20. So I got out of there early, which was awesome. But like alarm 7, 7:15, 7:30, 7:45, 8, 8:15, like every 15 minutes, just in case. Not that I ever overslept, because I couldn't sleep anyway. I was always awake way before my alarms went off. But just in case, like, I got stuck, like, looking over stuff in the morning, if I took too long of a shower, if I was, like, eating, like, I needed every single alarm to remind me that, like, I needed to get to this test center. Because you lay there, and sometimes you get suspicious about the amount of sleep you're having, and you're like, there's no way it's not 7 o'clock. And then you check, and it's, like, 5:30. Then you think you're sleeping for a while, and you're like, it has to be 7. You're like, it's 5:45. Like, I couldn't, like, I can't sleep. And then I'd come home, I'd lay in bed, and I'd just be like, I'm done. No one talks to me. Like, I need to just, like, check out for, like, the next 10 hours. Yeah, because there's that 1:30 time slot and a 4:30 time slot, I think I would have a heart attack if I tried to wait until 4:30 to take my exam. I can't, like, I don't know. I couldn't do it.